Time to roll some pizzas.
Welcome to a bit of a different video. like a business model.
The ones I made in the past. I'm gonna break down the exact dollars a month in has been insane. It's currently the 22nd of September, 2025. I'm sitting in a four.
Because the past year,
A bit of a different video than the ones I'm in take home profit and
my entire story and my life journey leading up to this point. Because the past year,
what's good, people, and welcome to a bit of a take home profit at 19 years old. And my entire story and my life journey leading up to this point, because the past year has been insane. I'm sitting in a that I decided to rent for the week.
Stockholm, Sweden.
If you're from Sweden, for a lot of countries, but I can only speak for Sweden. You're often frowned upon.
Looked at as an outcast if you try to do exceptional things, and if you have big dreams.
And big goals, you're looked at the same thing that everyone else is doing. And I always knew that I was going to do some exceptional stuff in my. I've always known that I was going to not only do something
Outside of enormous, but
the ones I made in the past. I'm going to break down the exact take home profit at 19 years old and my life journey leading up. Has been insane. It's currently the 22nd of September. Villa in Stockholm. This is what's good. take-home profit at 19 years old, and my entire story and my life journey leading up to this point, because the past year has been insane. It's currently the 22nd of September, 2025. Our story that I decided to rent for the week. And I'll probably speak for a lot of people when I say that if you try to do anything exceptional,
if you're from Sweden, or it might be the same for a lot of countries, but I can only speak for Sweden since that's where I'm from.
take-home profit at 19 years old, and my entire story and my life journey leading up to this point, because the past year has been insane. It's currently the 22nd of September, 2025. I'm sitting in a 4-story that I decided to rent for the week. And I'll probably speak for a lot of people when what's good, people, and welcome to a bit of a different video. Take-home profit at 19 years old, and my entire story and my life journey leading up to this point, because the past year has been insane. 25. I'm sitting in a 4-story villa in Stockholm. The city that I grew up in, and that has, and a lot of people when I say that if you
if you're from Sweden, or it might be the same for a lot.
গভৰ্ণৰে এপইণ্টমেণ্ট দিয়ে, ৰাজ্যপালে এপইণ্টমেণ্ট দিয়ে এজন মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰী। গতিকে কিয় আপোনালোকে মোমাই মাতে? কোন মাৰৰ ভাই অসমবাসীক মই প্ৰশ্ন সুধিব খুজিছো, কোনজনী মাৰৰ ভাইয়ে কিহৰ মোমাই তেওঁ? কি সম্পৰ্ক? এইটো এটা সাংবিধানিক পদবী। এই সাংবিধানিক পদবীটো মতে কাম কৰিবলৈ তেখেত বাধ্য, আৰু এই সাংবিধানিক পদবীটো মতে তেখেতক প্ৰশ্ন মুখচুপতি ৰাইজে কৰিব। জানে আপোনালোকে মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰী আমাক চাৰ্ভিচ দিবৰ কাৰণে, এই সাংবিধানিক পদমৰ্যাদা অনুসৰি আমাক চাৰ্ভিচ দিবৰ কাৰণে তেওঁক দৰমহা দিয়ে। কিহৰ মোমাই
days is I didn't realize how I didn't realize
লজ্জিত হবে। এইজন্য নিরুৎপল লেখা তেওঁৰ চাইডৰ পৰা পাইৰেচি কৰি আপলোড
What's good, people, and welcome to has been insane. It's currently the 22nd of September, 2025. I'm sitting in a four-story villa in Stockholm, Sweden, that I decided to rent for the week. The city that I grew up in and that has shaped me as a person. And I probably speak for a lot of people when I say that if you try to do anything exceptional, if you're from Sweden, or the same for a lot of countries, but looked at as an outcast if you try to do exceptional things. And if you What's good, people? Take home profit at 19 years old, and my entire story and my life journey leading up to this point, because the past year has been insane. It's currently the 22nd of September. Villa in Stockholm, Sweden, that I decided to rent for the week. And I probably speak for a lot. The same for a lot of countries, but I can only speak for Sweden since that's where I'm from. You're often from the same thing that everyone else is doing. And I always knew that I was going to do some exceptional stuff in my life. I've always known that I was going to not only do something outside of the norms, but achieve some big things and quote unquote become successful. And ever since I was 13, 14 years old, like realizing that there was other ways to make money, that was like my identity, that was my saying. I've been saying it to countless person that ever doubted like that way. I always hated school. I never had any hardships. I was always like the smart kid, but I just hated school. I hated being thrown. And I know that a lot of other people feel that way as well. I always knew that I was never going to work a 9 to 5 in my life, and it was possible to make money online. I went all in on trying in my sport at a very high level since I was. And I think that's where I learned that I was excited. Anything that I put my mind to, and you know, I love the athlete side of things, but I had a big side of things, and since I was, as I said, 13 years old. Trading, I even sold a few products online. I started a clothing brand. I did some print on demand, like Etsy drop shipping and stuff like that, which I made some small money, and you know. And I do believe that that's the way God works. And
actual business model it was still enough for me to like see that it's possible. And to like see that it's possible.
like see that it's possible. I do believe that that's the
See that it's possible.
see that it's possible.
I
The photo is still it was not everything is here to last forever, but even if you achieve some stuff, it's here to teach you and show you that is coming to an end. And I had a feeling, just like this overwhelming feeling that I never had before. In the beginning of August last year, that I had to make a change. I knew that I was not going to do the last year of school. I just hated school. I was not aligned with the people that were around me. And some people can push through that. Like some people are fine with like, yeah, I'll do the last year of school, or I'll push. I'm making a change that day, and it led me to. I felt like I need to make some money in the first like 2-3 weeks of school. I have to find a reasonable way for me to drop out, because otherwise my parents are going to ask why I'm not in school. So I hired my first mentor shortly after I discovered the agency model of online business. And I truly believe that it's one thing to make money online, but it's another thing to make money with something that's valuable and something that you're proud to say, and you can stick your chest out and say that. That's a different feeling. You know, even if you do drop shipping or trading, you're not providing any value to the world or to the marketplace. You can make millions of dollars selling glowing teddy bears on the internet, but that's not what we're going to tell. So I found the agency models. That was like the first thing that hit home. It was like, okay, this is something that I can see myself doing full time. And I hired my first mentor in the beginning of August last year, so 13 months ago. And that was a big thing for me, not only the business knowledge, but also feeling like I was a part of something big. That really takes some of the imposter syndrome away when you start to build a network and you have people close to you that you can talk to on a weekly basis. You don't feel like you're alone in a world full of people that want to pull you to the ground and say that you're arrogant if you try to achieve big goals or big dreams. You actually have some people on the other side that can lift you up. And shortly after, he asked me if I wanted to come to Dubai because he was throwing a plan. And me still having started that last year at school, I was like, it feels way out of my comfort zone, but it's probably the better alternative. I booked a one-way ticket 2 days prior. It was the Thursday, and I had booked the flight for Saturday. And I told my parents on the Friday, this is going to sound insane, but I'm going to Dubai tomorrow, which like no Swedish people I've ever, I'm not saying no Swedish people I've ever done, but it's very uncommon for an 18-year-old kid like that to just go to Dubai. And them not having any context on it, like that was definitely a surprise for them. And when I land in Dubai and I take my taxi towards my hotel and I just see the Burj Khalifa, I knew that was like the starting point of something big. I knew that I was not going to be in some classroom or any of the same like locations that I've been in back in Stockholm. That was like the start of something big. I'm in Dubai for a week and then I get back home to Stockholm and I speak to my teachers and they say that we can make a deal customized for your situation that says that I can do the studies from home. I don't have to be there physically. And that was like the starting point, me knowing that this was the shift that I've been looking for all of summer. And at that point, I just stay locked in my room for the entire fall of 2024, basically. I do anything that I can to get my first client and, start to make some money and really change my life for the better, if you will. And I remember signing my first client for the agency back then for $7,000 US. That was my first ever client. And they paid me a full $7,000 US. that was the first time where I felt like, okay, this is what I do for a living. I'm not just trying to build an agency at this point, but this is like, when people ask me, what do you do? This is what I do now. I have clients that see the value in what I'm providing. And it not only felt good for me because I was able to make some money online, but it also felt like I was providing something valuable to them. And they were happy with the services that I was providing. And that's the best feeling, being able to provide value to companies and growing their business, building great relationships with clients that would happily pay you multiple 4, if not 5 figures for your service and for you to help them out on their journey. And fast forward a year, I've been to Dubai 4 times at this point. Been in Cape Town. I've met friends all over the place. We've traveled to every single country in Europe you can imagine. I'm growing my business to $60,000 a month in profit. I'm making 2 to 3 yearly salaries every single month as a 19-year-old high school dropout, if you want to call it that. But most of all, I have full financial time and location freedom. I can be in this villa that I've rented in Stockholm for a week. I can go to every single country that I want, and I can work whenever I want. I literally woke up at 11 a.m. because I went to bed at 3 a.m. because I sat working from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. Not because I had to, but just because I had to work on some new projects. It's a beautiful life, and I want to show you the technicalities of this business model, because if you can learn this too, you can really change your life for the better. And the year that I've lived and experienced for the past year has been the best year of my life. And I felt like my 19 years of age is like divided into 2. It's like my 18 years leading up to that last summer, and then my year ever since then. And I want every single one of you watching this video to experience that for yourself as well, because it's one of the coolest feelings and something that's worth pursuing for sure. So I'll break down the exciting business model and how it works and how you can get started doing exactly that for yourself. How I make $58,000 a month selling AI to local businesses at 19 years old without knowing how to code. The problem that we're facing is the following. 83% of businesses worldwide claims that their number one priority this year, 2025, was to implement AI into their business. And there's been studies on this, and only 20% of businesses are learning how to use it. Most local businesses will go bankrupt in the next 3 years if they don't implement AI into their company as fast as possible. And these are some stats that show that an average human sales team is costing companies between $4,000 and $50,000 a month, depending on how many sales reps they have. The average sales rep needs between $4,000 and $6,000 a month in base salary plus commission for it to be worth it for them to work for that business. And most businesses needs between 5 and 6 reps to take care of all the inbound calls. And that's going to cost them between $30,000 and $50,000 a month. And still, only 35% of inbound calls from potential customers of these local businesses are taken, because they can't take all of the calls. 65% of inbound calls go missing. That means 65% of potential customers of that business go missing. They're missing out on 2/3 of potential deal flow. So just by this stat itself, you could 3x a business just by taking care of all the calls instead of only 35%. The solution for this problem is now we have AI that can pick up the phone and it sounds just like a human when it answers, and it's programmed to pick up 100% of the calls. So these 65% of inbound calls that go missing, although we have a sales team that is costing us $50,000 a month, we can now replace with AI that costs us $150 a month, because we can implement one AI bot to take care of hundreds of calls every single day. Because AI doesn't need to get paid and is programmed to pick up every single call. It never gets sick. It works 24/7, and we can set up an AI bot that answers all of the calls, either from Vapi.ai or Synfo.ai, with taking care of as many calls that are the usual number for an average medium-sized local business. That amount of calls based on the cost per minute of using the AI dollar would cost the AI sales team, even though it's only one AI bot, $150 a month to take care of 100% of the calls, instead of $50,000 a month to take care of 35% of the calls. It's a no-brainer for any local business out there. And if you don't want to take my word for it, I'll show you 4 of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, all preaching AI implementation into businesses as the number one business opportunity of this decade and for the decades to come.
What business do you start today?
Oh, I'd be hardcore looking at AI stuff. I mean, I think that there's a gigantic opportunity from a service side of AI implementation in small business, Main Street, because I think so many businesses are like, they recognize that they're like, man, AI is scary.
Because listen, being involved early in AI truly is like being involved early in the internet days. And I don't think you're going to have this kind of opportunity again for maybe a decade or 2.
You can mess up a lot of things, but if you get the main trend right, you're going to make a lot of money. And conversely, if you don't get the main trend right, you're swimming upstream, you can do a lot of other things right, but you're not going to make a lot of money. So I intentionally spend time thinking about where does all this fit in and where could it be going?
What major trend are you most interested in right now?
I'm most interested in AI because it is the trend. It is the number one trend.
Artificial intelligence is going to change everything. It'll have a bigger impact on us than the internet, than phones, mobile computing or mobile networking, wide area networking. It's just going to dwarf everything. And
So now that you know that you probably have one of the biggest business opportunities to ever touch the internet in front of your eyes, I'm going to explain how this business model works. Essentially, what you can do is to offer different AI services for companies. You can offer AI receptionists, AI agents, AI automations, AI workflows, AI assistants. But what all of these do is just to solve one minor problem inside of a business, and that is to automate a small department inside of a local business sales process or their operations. What we do is we sell an AI sales infrastructure, meaning we come into businesses that are looking to adopt AI and we say, look, we can implement this entire package consisting of all the systems that you were using in the past to get new customers, but it consists of AI to make everything 10 times faster, plus our attention infrastructure. Meaning we launch AI generated ads through either Arcast.ai or Creatify.ai. Those are two softwares so we can launch AI generated ads that are way more time and cost efficient for these businesses to create and launch to gain attention from the exact type of customers that they want to attract to their business. We manage the lead flow, and then we call these leads up with an AI dialer from Vapi.ai or Synflow.ai. So then we can replace the entire sales team that we're currently costing them between $30,000 and $50,000 a month to only, once again, take care of 35% of the inbound calls. And now we can take care of 100% of the inbound calls with AI that is better. It's programmed to follow the script. It always works 24/7. It never gets sick. And it costs us $150 a month instead of $50,000 a month. The reason why this is so powerful is because this is the average local business dream. For someone like you to come into their business and say, look, I know we're in an AI revolution right now. You're probably going to be bankrupt in the next few years if you don't do anything about it. It's scary times. We'll take care of it. We'll implement the entire package that you need to not go bankrupt, to 10 times everything in both a money aspect, but also in a time aspect. And we take care of the entire problem. We implement this package to just cover your entire business with AI. Essentially, you're not only implementing an AI receptionist, not only a AI sales team, not an AI agent, not an AI automation, not an AI workflow. And this is why we can charge so much for this package that we're selling. It's not any harder to set up, but it just consists of more components to take care of every single problem and every single worry that these businesses have in regards to AI in the future and where all of this is heading. They want someone like you to come in and say, we can take care of the entire thing. And when I say taking care of everything, it might sound complicated, but it's super simple. And I'll get into that in just a bit. The point of this is you can charge anywhere between $7,000 and $25,000 per implementation. If you come to a business and say, we'll implement a receptionist or a workflow, they're going to be like, yeah, it's better than nothing, but it doesn't solve our problems. It doesn't directly make us more money. This AI sales infrastructure directly makes businesses more money with AI. An automation or a workflow only solves one minor problem, and that's not going to be worth more than 1 to 5K per implementation. It's not even worth 1 to 5K, and you can do some small tweaks and just implement a few more components, and you can literally 5x the amount of money that you're charging for your service like this. So the way this works is you're getting attention through AI-generated ad creatives that we create through Creatify.ai or Arcast.ai. You then implement an AI dialer that answers all of the inbound calls 24/7, 100% of the inbound calls through Vapi.ai or Synflow.ai, and you can customize this AI dialer for every single business. So if it's a roofing company, you can make it tailored to speak like someone from the roofing company. If it's a real estate agent, you can do the same, but for that niche specifically. You then follow up these leads and send them a booking confirmation through an AI-generated SMS campaign. We get them into a booked appointment and we close the deal. So this is a fully automated system, completely with AI that we set up for these companies. And it's costing the company, with all the softwares and everything that we use to set it up for them, it costs them $100 to $500 a month for this entire system, compared to probably upwards of $50,000 to $70,000 a month for the entire system that it cost with humans, with employment fees, with media buyers, with sales team, that it was costing them earlier. We're now basically reduced the cost by 100% because this is basically free compared to how much they paid in the past. And since this is a system that's going to be up and running for them forever, you can easily charge between $7,000 and $25,000 per implementation, because that's still way cheaper over the course of the next 3 to 5 years for these businesses with AI and everything done for them than consistently paying $50,000 a month for their sales team. And the best part, you don't even have to learn how to fulfill on the system by yourself. Me personally, for my agency, I've never fulfilled on the system personally. You charge the business $10,000 up front to set up the system for them. And $10,000 is pennies for most local businesses out there, considering they're spending multiple 5 figures a month on having the system up and running. You pay an AI developer $1,000 of that 10K to set up the Vappy Dollar and the Sinful Dollar and have that sales team, the AI sales team set up. And then if you're not comfortable in running ads for these businesses with the AI generators that we create through Creatify.ai and Arcast.ai, you can pay a white label agency $500 a month to run the ads for you. So they'll disguise themselves as you, but it's actually them running the ads. They'll take care of the ads manager and run the ads completely for you. You can book a call with them and pay them $500 to run the ads for you. And that way you have 85% profit margin on these $10,000 and you've done zero fulfillment. You've just connected the developers and the white label agency to the business that you're working with. And that way you're able to charge between $7,000 and $25,000 per implementation, as I said, and you can easily maintain 85% profit margins. And now just to mention a few of the client results that we've gotten inside of the one-on-one mentorship program. Jason, that started with us earlier this year, was doing $3,000 a month by offering manual lead generation services to dental practices in his hometown in Germany. He was driving manually to every single one of his clients in Germany to shoot ads for them, film them, edit them, launch them, and take care of the entire lead generation process. And he was still only able to get to $3,000 a month. We helped him switch model by one, implementing AI-generated ads for his clients, his dental practices. So now he didn't need to drive manually to every single one of his clients to shoot ads for them. He could easily do it inside of Arcast.ai for $50 a month. And we also helped him with the rest of the system for his clients. And he was able to do $36,000 in the month of April by selling AI growth infrastructure